Imagine being the funniest person in the entire kingdom, while also being one of the most powerless. You were born into a poor family, far away from the royal palace. Your parents had very little to give you, but as a child, you discovered something that would eventually change your life. You could make people laugh, you could imitate voices, make ridiculous faces, tell stories, dance badly on purpose, and somehow turn even the most boring moment into something entertaining. At first, it was simply a way to make your family and neighbors smile. But one day, a traveling performer noticed your talent. He told your parents that you had something special. You didn't understand how important those words were at the time. You were just a poor kid who liked making people laugh. But over the next few years, you learned everything you could. You learned how to juggle, play simple instruments, perform tricks, tell stories, imitate important people. And most importantly, you learned how to read a crowd. You learned when people were about to laugh, when they were becoming bored, and when a joke had gone too far. Eventually, your talent brought you to the royal court. The first time you saw the palace, you couldn't believe what you were looking at. Massive stone walls surrounded enormous halls decorated with gold, paintings, expensive fabrics, and weapons. Servants carried food that your family could never have imagined eating. Knights stood at the doors, nobles walked through the corridors. And at the center of everything was the king. You were terrified. Then the king looked directly at you and gave you a simple command: make me laugh. Suddenly, your entire future depended on a joke. You stepped forward and performed. You danced, made ridiculous noises, pretended to fall, imitated one of the palace guards, and finally made the most ridiculous face you could think of. For a few seconds, the room was completely silent. You thought you had failed. Then the king laughed. Everyone else immediately laughed with him. And just like that, you had a job. You became the royal jester. At first, life seemed almost perfect. You had food every day, warm clothes, a place to sleep inside the palace, and access to a world that ordinary people could only dream about. People who would have ignored you in the streets suddenly knew your name. Children loved you, servants enjoyed your performances, and even some nobles found you entertaining. But after a while, you discovered something nobody had told you. Being a royal jester wasn't simply about being funny. It was about knowing exactly where the line was and never crossing it. You could make fun of a nobleman's enormous nose. You could imitate a knight falling off his horse. You could joke about a servant's terrible dancing. You could even make fun of the king's expensive clothes. But there were certain subjects you never touched. You couldn't openly question the king's decisions. You couldn't insult his family. You couldn't reveal his weaknesses. And you definitely couldn't joke about something that could make him look weak in front of the court, because you weren't performing in front of ordinary people. You were performing in front of the most powerful person in the kingdom. An ordinary comedian could make a joke, leave the room, and disappear. You couldn't. You lived inside the palace. Your audience was also your employer, and your employer had the power to destroy your life with a single command. Yet, strangely, this danger also gave you a kind of freedom that almost nobody else had. You could sometimes say things that ministers, knights, and nobles couldn't say. A minister might spend an entire hour explaining why the kingdom needed more taxes. You could walk into the room wearing your ridiculous hat, look at the king and say, "Perhaps the kingdom simply needs fewer hungry people." Everyone would laugh, but beneath the laughter was something more serious. You were telling the truth. That was the strange power of the jester. You could hide criticism inside a joke. You could insult someone while pretending you were only being silly. You could expose hypocrisy without directly accusing anyone. Sometimes the king understood exactly what you were doing. Sometimes he laughed because he knew the joke was true. Other times, the room would suddenly become silent, and you would immediately realize that you had gone too far. As the years passed, you became one of the most familiar faces in the palace. You watched kings become angry, nobles become jealous, servants fall in love, and politicians make promises they never intended to keep. You saw the side of royal life that ordinary people never saw. Behind the beautiful walls were arguments, secrets, political schemes, betrayals, and fear. You discovered that the palace wasn't really a magical place. It was simply a beautiful building filled with people who were afraid of losing what they had. And sometimes the king needed you more than you needed him. Ruling a kingdom was exhausting. Every day brought new problems, wars, taxes, Political conflicts, rival kingdoms, family arguments, and people constantly asking for favors. Sometimes the king simply wanted to forget everything for a few minutes. And that was when you entered the room. You could make him laugh when nobody else could. You could turn a terrible day into a moment of happiness. You became more than entertainment. You became an escape. But being close to power came with another danger. You started seeing things that you were never supposed to see. Secret meetings, private arguments, political conspiracies, people begging for mercy, nobles making plans behind the king's back. And sometimes you saw people disappear from the palace and never return. You learned very quickly that some information was more dangerous than any weapon. One evening, you made a joke about a powerful nobleman. Everyone in the room laughed, everyone except him. He stared at you without saying a word. You smiled and continued performing, but deep down, you knew you had made an enemy. The next morning, rumors began spreading through the palace. The nobleman wanted you punished. Some people said you should be thrown out. Others said you should apologize. You began wondering whether one stupid joke could end your entire life. Then the king called you into his chamber. You expected punishment. Instead, he laughed. He told you that the nobleman deserved the joke and handed you a small bag of coins. You walked out of the room with a strange realization. Sometimes, the safest person in the kingdom was the person who could make the king laugh. But sometimes, the most dangerous person was the one who couldn't. Years passed. Your body became slower. Your knees hurt after long performances. Your voice wasn't as strong as it used to be. Your jokes weren't as quick. Then a new generation of entertainers arrived at the palace. They were younger, faster, louder, and more energetic. For the first time, you realized that your position wasn't permanent. One evening, you performed your usual routine. You danced, joked, pretended to fall, and made the entire room laugh. But when you looked around, you noticed something. Everyone was younger. The servants were younger. The musicians were younger. The knights were younger. Even the new jester was younger. Suddenly, you realized that the palace had continued moving forward while you had slowly become part of its past. Eventually, you retired. The palace gave you a small room and enough money to survive. You were no longer the center of attention. Nobody waited for your jokes anymore. Nobody called you into the throne room every evening. You became almost invisible, but sometimes young servants would visit you. They wanted to hear stories about the old days. They would ask what the king was really like. You would smile and tell them stories that you could never have told while the king was alive. You told them about the ridiculous arguments between nobles, the nights when the palace was filled with laughter, the days when war seemed inevitable, and the jokes that nearly got you killed. You spent your final years remembering everything you had seen. The laughter, the feasts, the celebrations, the wars, the friendships, and the people who disappeared without explanation. You had spent your entire life making other people laugh. But nobody had ever asked you the most important question. Were you happy? One evening, you sat outside the palace and watched the sunset. You could hear music coming from inside. A new royal jester was performing. The crowd was laughing. The king was laughing. And for the first time in decades, you weren't the person standing in the middle of the room. You were simply watching, and strangely, you smiled. Because you finally understood something. A royal jester was never really just the fool. You were the person who could sometimes tell the truth when everyone else was too afraid to speak. You made kings laugh. You mocked nobles. You survived political games, watched wars begin, and watched generations disappear. History might remember the kings who ruled the kingdom, the generals who won battles, and the nobles who built magnificent castles. But somewhere behind all of them was a person wearing a ridiculous hat, holding a small instrument and making everyone laugh. Someone who understood that a joke could be more powerful than a sword. Someone who knew that making a king laugh was sometimes the safest way to tell him the truth. You were the royal jester, and perhaps after all those years, you finally realized that you were never the fool at all.